What is up, comic book fans, readers, collectors, cover lovers? Everyone is welcome here at NerdyGeeks Comics, no matter how you collect. Today is Saturday, August the 9th, 2025, and I will be going over my FOC video. So, if you've been watching my FOC videos, and there's been a few of you watching, I'm still a small channel. I'm barely going on my second month with this. You know that my FOC video has been crazy, 30 to 40 books. Um, this week I got it under 20. Can you believe it? I got it under 20. So, just a little backstory, in case you don't know why my FOCs are so crazy. It's that as a kid, I didn't have comic books. We didn't have a lot of expendable income. So I had one comic book as a kid. It was a Donald Duck comic. He was like dressed in like Japanese clothing, swinging a katana at a Japanese house, all mad. That's the only comic book I ever owned until I was 25. And when in 2004 I went to Iraq, we got care packages. Some of the care packages we got had Wizard magazine in them, and I would read them cover to cover. And that's what got me into coming home. Like, when I get home, I'm going to go to the comic shop and start picking up comic books. I always wanted to as a kid, but like I said, I didn't have the income. So when I came home, I started collecting from 2005 until 2013 or 14. And then in this same house, we had a flood. My entire collection got ruined. Like, I don't know, 14, 15 long boxes just all got ruined. Some books are now grails, or at least would be a grail to me. I had the Adam Hughes Harley Quinn #1 in the straight jacket. I had 3 of those because I was always the type that if I'm going to collect and get one to read, one to save, and one to sell, even though I've never sold a comic book ever, I always collect that way. And my entire collection got ruined, guys. I mean, I had some great J. Scott Campbell's in there, Michael Turner's, more Adam Hughes that are probably $200-300 now. That Harley's a hard one to find, and it just got ruined. So I didn't have the heart to start over. So I was out of comic book collecting until last year in 2024 in February. It's when I first walked into my LCS for the first time in over 10 years. And I guess it's just the fact that I'm trying to catch up to where I would have been, build my collection up from scratch all over again, that my FOCs have been so crazy and so high. And now I'm trying to work at, getting it manageable again. I would love to start picking up some Grail comic books. There's a lot of comics I have on my wish list that I really want to start, trying to buy. So that's the reason my FOC's, so high. It's just trying to catch up, feeling like I missed out all these years and I don't want to miss out anymore. So I'm fighting that FOMO. But like I said, this week I got it at 18. Yeah, I think 18. So that's a really good week for me. I understand that it's still high. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I know that there's a lot of people who like 18 is their month, and this is my FOC for this week. So, anyways, I'm getting it down. I was in the 40s. Then I was in the mid 30s. I've been in the 20s. I'm in the teens. So I'm doing good. Let's go ahead and get to that list, guys. All right, guys, like I said, this is my FOC for Monday, August 11th, 2025. First, we have Absolute Superman number 11. This is cover A by Rafael Sandoval. And guys, this has been a really great series. I've really enjoyed it. Every every issue has been a really good read. If you're not reading this, give it a shot. It is a really good read. There's not a lot of people talking about Absolute Superman. It seems like Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and even Absolute Martian Manhunter to an extent have just overshadowed this series. But this series has been really good. It's been consistent. There haven't been lows like Absolute Batman. I've really enjoyed, and the first issue or two were really great, but then it kind of dipped for about 2 or 3 issues up until we got to see Mr. Freeze, and then it picked up from there. And then when Bane got into the picture, it just got even better. So it's had some highs, but it's had some lows. But I feel like Absolute Superman has just been very consistent, really good writing, really good reads. There have been a few like highs, like whenever they introduced Brainiac, that was a really, really good issue. That was an awesome issue when they introduced Brainiac. And if you're not reading it, guys, I think you would like it. Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, you know, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know. I've always said Ra's, so that's what I'm going to stick with. But he seems like he's the main villain for this storyline. And you find out in the last issue, spoilers, that Brainiac works for Ra's al Ghul. And it's interesting dynamic because I would have never thought, you know, Brainiac would be working for him. You would think Brainiac, if anything, would have Ra's al Ghul under him. But anyways, so Ra's has been basically setting up everything. There's some major spoilers in this, so I don't want to tell y'all too much, but it's getting really good. Like I said, it's been consistently good, but now it's starting to go up. I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading this issue. And if you're one of those people who just doesn't like Superman because you say he's too overpowered, they deal with that in this series. He is Superman. He can fly. He's got the heat vision. He's got the strength and the speed, but he has solar reserves. He can only absorb a certain amount of solar energy before his energy starts to go down, and it's you know, something that he has to pay attention to. He has to pay attention. If I fight too long, he's going to lower his reserves. If he expels too much energy, he's going to lower his reserves. So it's something he has to manage, and it's something that people, his enemies, understand, so they know that they can exploit that. So it really puts a different perspective on Superman. So, you know, if that sounds interesting to you, give it a shot, because I really enjoyed this series. Here we have Adventures of Superman, the Book of L #1. This is cover C by Riccardo Federici, and this is just a really cool Superman cover right here. We got a new series #1. I did not read the synopsis, because if it's a character that I know, I'm going to pick up #1. I'm going to give it a shot, especially if it's a character I like. If it's an indie title, I'm going to have to read the synopsis, because I need to know if I'm going to say something that's going to be interesting to me or not. But if it's a #1 of a character I like, and, you know, an established character, I'm always going to give it a shot. So I'm going to be picking this one up. Here we have Batgirl #11. This is cover B by Sal Wee. And there's also a cover C by Gabriel Delato, the Gotham variant. There was no artwork for it, so I'm just letting y'all know it is going to be out there. I'm not going to put it under FOC, because I'm at that point where if you don't give me the cover, I'm not going to FOC your book. You know, I'm just going to say, hey, new comic book day. If I see it there, it looks cool, I'm going to pick it up. Usually your LCSs, for bigger books, they'll order some extra copies. So if the artwork comes out in the next week or two, I'll just, let them know, hey guys, if you got extra copies, pick up one for me if I end up liking it. I love Gabriel Delato's work, so I'm definitely going to be picking that one up. And here we have Absolute Green Lantern #6. This is cover B by Juliet NECA. And I really enjoyed this series. This has been a slow read, but it's because they're building the story. Like, they're taking their time with the story. I've enjoyed it. It looks like we're starting to get to an apex, in the storyline where things are about to really start happening. I'm not saying the first 5 issues were boring. They're not boring. They're just taking their time, letting you know who these characters are. And of course, you have Hal in here. You have Guy Gardner. You have John Stewart, you know, Abin Sur. Everyone you expect to see in here is in here, but they're taking a different, you know, as all this absolutes are. They're taking a different route with the storyline on who gets their powers and why, and how they work. And I've really enjoyed it. So if you're not reading this, guys, you know, we're only 6 issues in. It won't be that hard for you to catch up. You know, probably you'll be getting a trade here in the next month or two. So, you know, give it a shot. I really like this series so far. And we have Cruel Universe. This is number 2. This is cover This is cover A by Lee Bermejo. And if you've been watching my FOCs and New Comic Book Day hauls, you know Lee Bermejo is an artist that if I see his covers, especially with Spider-Man, and now with these Cruel Universe covers, I'm definitely going to be picking them up. I love the way he draws Spider-Man, and I love these classic sci-fi looking EC covers that he's been doing. Really great artwork. So it is an anthology series. Number 1, I want to say there was 3 stories in it. Pretty sure it was 3 stories. But the dolphin story, guys, was a trip, guys. Like, I'm not saying it was really good. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was a trip. I was not expected to go there. So I'm gonna continue to pick these up. These are more cover grabs, but you know, the dolphin story in number 1 really was like, what is going on? I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep going with this series. Here we have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 320. This is cover C, the 1 in 10 by Francis Portela. And you have Snake Eyes here. It's a really nice type of, what is this called? A negative space variant. Really cool cover right here. I don't read G.I. Joe, guys. Again, we didn't have a lot of extra income when I was a kid. I never had G.I. Joe comics. I only owned 2 G.I. Joe figures my entire life. That's it. I had 2 as a kid, and that's all I ever owned. And a little kid in daycare stole them from me, so I never got any more. But anyways, this is a really cool cover. Snake Eyes right here. I've loved a lot of these negative space ones that they've been doing, so I'm definitely going to be picking this one up. Here we have Poison Ivy, number 36. This is cover C by Eom. If I ever find out how to pronounce his first name, I will definitely say it. I do not want to butcher it. I've never heard anyone say it out loud, so I'm just going to keep calling him Eom. It seems like everyone's either calling him Eom or Eom, but I'm just going to go with Eom. But anyways, this is a fantastic cover of Poison Ivy here. He has quickly become one of my favorite artists in a really short time. He's getting to the point where if he's putting out a cover, I'm probably going to pick it up whether I read the series or not. But Poison Ivy is a series that I am reading. I am not caught up. Again, I didn't start collecting comics again until last year in February. So by that time, this was already in the 20s. But I am reading it. It is a really good read. I've really enjoyed it. This is not just a, you know, cover buy. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of great covers in this Poison Ivy series. But it is a really interesting read. They introduce a lot of characters. The way they use the characters and the relationships that Poison Ivy has with them is really interesting. And then if you're a Harley fan, she pops up every now and then. She'll interact and then she takes off. If you're not a Harley fan and she annoys you, she pops up every now and then. She's not always there and then she takes off. So, you know, I really enjoyed it. You know, give it a shot. I'm sure there's at least 5 trades out right now, so you can try and, you know, get caught up if you want to. But I've really enjoyed this series, so go ahead and check it out if you want. But we also have the cover D by Gabriel Del Otto, the Gotham variant. So this is one of the covers that actually showed up from Gabriel Del Otto. And you have a great Ivy cover right here. You got the skulls and the Ivy right behind her, both sides. You got the skeletonized hand and femur down there. Really cool cover. It reminds me of Homer disappearing into the hedge. I love that. You know, we all know that meme. But this is a really great Ivy cover here. There's also a Birds of Prey Gabriel Dell'Otto coming out, because they're all the Gotham variants, but there wasn't any artwork for it. So hopefully, if that's some great artworks, I can pick it up on New Comic Book Day. But anyways, I'll be picking this one up. Here we have Absolute Batman number 12. This is cover D by Steven Subic, and this is a glow-in-the-dark variant. I love glow-in-the-dark covers. I'm definitely going to be picking this one up. Absolute Batman. So with this series, like I told y'all during Absolute Superman, it started off high. It kind of dipped for me, at least. But then once Mr. Freeze shows up, it just starts going up. And then when Bane shows up, it just keeps going up. The last issue was crazy. You see the willpower that Batman possesses. It is not about him outsmarting anybody. It is not him about showing his physical strength. It is not his technology. It is his willpower that is on display in that book. Really great book. Like something I never would have thought of seeing Batman in that situation. So I am looking forward to continuing this read. It is really starting to get good. So if you're not reading these, you got to read the first ones just to get an idea of where this world is. Again, it starts off really cool. It goes down, but once Mr. Freeze shows up, the book just starts going up and gets really good. So give it a shot if you're not reading it. And if you are reading it, you know what I'm talking about. Here we have Captain America number 3. This is the Jerome Opeña variant. You have a really cool cover right here. You got Cap. I always love seeing Cap on the motorcycles with his shield strapped to his back. It's always just a classic look for me. I love it. And so we're only 2 issues into this so far. And slight spoilers, but just a synopsis in case you want to get, right now is a really easy time to get onto it. I'm sure you can still find number 1s and number 2s out there at your LCSs. Cap is woken up from the ice, and it is in the modern day. It's not 2025, but it is 2000s, post 2000s at least. They don't give you an exact date, or if they did, I don't remember seeing it. But he's woken up. Of course, he's a fish out of water. He's trying to find his way in the world. And like the original Cap, he is invited to join the Avengers, but he chooses not to. He doesn't do it because he feels that the world is so different that he doesn't know where he fits in. So he goes to the one place where he feels like he still would fit in, and he goes back to the military. And when he goes back in, he finds out there's another Captain America. And of course, they're partnered up. They go on missions together. They work well together, but they do have different ideologies. And the new Captain America, in my opinion, it kind of feels like he's a babysitter to this original Cap, because this, original Cap just doesn't know how the world works anymore. And old Cap sees the world completely different than the world he left. To me, it kind of feels like he's not sure if everything he's did mattered, because the world is not at peace. There's still war. And to him, he feels like people are going to war for different reasons than when they went to before. They did it before because they felt like they were doing the right thing, where now he doesn't see it that way. And it's a really interesting take on this. This is not your standard superhero fare. This is very nuanced, and I really enjoyed it. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, check it out. Here we have Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 4. This is the Michael Walsh variant. And here you have Miles. Looks like he's wielding magic sword right here. And it's not a spoiler, guys. It's on the cover A and cover B. It looks like it's going to be him and Magic having a showdown in this. Evidently, we don't know. Covers don't always tell the story. But in this cover, he's got magic sword, and he's going to be wielding it against her, it looks like, or someone else maybe. Miles is my favorite Spider-Man. I love this. I love his character. I am loving Ultimate Spider-Man. That is a great title. I love Peter's story in that. Sad that it's ending at 24. I'm hoping that they're ending, like the Incursion is ending that version of the story, but we still get Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 2, which is the same Peter. It's just now post Incursion, post the Maker storyline. But either way, I've enjoyed it. It's really good. I wish it was keep going, but we get what we get. We don't throw a fit. Although, the internet does throw a fit. Here we have Ultimate Wolverine number 9. This is cover A by Alessandro Cappuccio. And I've loved this series so far. I am behind. I want to say the last issue I read was number 5, so I need to catch up. Like I said, with my FOCs in the 40s and 30s and 20s, that's a lot of books for me to read, because I do read the majority of my books. Like, there are some books that I get for cover buys, but the majority of my books, I'm reading them. And with somebody with ADHD, unmedicated, and dyslexia, that is a task for me to read these. But I will get caught up with this. I've heard that the series is still good and has gotten a little better, so I'm looking forward to catching up on this. And I'm definitely going to want to get the 1 in 25 Maria Wolf variant. This is the really cool cover right here. Obviously, Wolverine just got done doing what Wolverine does. He's got blood all over his claws, his arms, his chest, everywhere. It's just dripping off all over him. He's got those veins going, so he was just really in a big fight. And then he's got the steam coming from his mask, because obviously he's in the cold. Really great artwork right here. I love this cover. As long as I can pick it up below ratio, I'm definitely going to grab this. Here we have Wolverines and Deadpool number 3. This is the Clayton Crane variant. So if you're a Wolverine and a Deadpool fan, I feel like you're going to enjoy this series. I love both of those characters. I love when they do their team ups. I don't like all of their team ups, but this one I'm enjoying. It adds a different dynamic because you have X-23 and Ellie joining the series. And I really like the way the characters interact with each other. So I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis and try not to do any big spoilers, but there might be some minor spoilers. So in issue 1, Deadpool gets contracted out to go to Mexico, Central America, South America somewhere. There's villages where children are starting to disappear. And when he gets the contract, Ellie tells him that she's going to go with him. And at first he doesn't want to do it because Ellie is a child and he's, afraid that she might end up getting hurt or taken. But if you don't know Ellie's power base, she has an ability to teleport to wherever Deadpool is within reason. Like, I'm sure if the story makes it where for some reason they block her ability, she can't. But for the most part, she can just teleport to wherever her dad is. So he reluctantly agrees to let her go with him. When they get down there, they run into Wolverine and X-23. And of course, the Wolverines think that the Deadpools are involved. The Deadpools say that they're hired to go down there, and they reluctantly team up, which of course Wade is ecstatic about because he loves Wolverine. He loves teaming up with Wolverine. It's his bestie, according to him. And he is also excited because this is Ellie's first team up crossover with Wolverine. So in issue 1, Wolverine and Deadpool split off, and then X-23 and Ellie split off. And it's a different, it's not your normal Deadpool and Wolverine because they both have their children with them. And Wade actually opens up to Wolverine that, being a father terrifies him. And even though Ellie has been trained by him and Taskmaster and is a fast learner and has a good heart and a healing factor, it still terrifies him that she can get hurt, she can die. And he shares that with Wolverine. And surprisingly, Wolverine opens up to Deadpool that he doesn't know how to be a father to a child with powers, and that he has the same type of fear that how can he protect them, and he doesn't always feel like he can, or is he going to be a good father to them? And it's just an interesting dynamic that you don't see from these two characters, but I really enjoyed it. And on the other hand, you have X-23 and Ellie working together, And X-23, in my opinion, feels like she's babysitting Ellie. She's having to show her how to investigate an area. Ellie feels like X-23 is really short and irritated and just mean. So they really don't get along and like each other, which is just an interesting thing, because it's more of Ellie, not liking X-23. And then in issue 2, they crisscross. So now you have Deadpool and X-23 working together, and you have Wolverine and Ellie working together. And then the dynamic that those two have are really interesting. I really enjoyed their time together and their conversations. But you find out that, slight spoilers, the Shadow King is the one who's been taking the children. He's got his minions out there doing it for him. He's trying to do something, but the reason he was doing it was because he wanted to get Deadpool and Ellie down there because he has plans for Ellie. So that's what I'll tell you about it, guys. If this sounds interesting to you, pick it up. Like I said, if you're a fan of these two characters, I'm sure you're going to like it. I've enjoyed it. If you don't like them, you may not. I mean, I just gave you the synopsis of what it is. If that didn't sound interesting, give it a pass. I'm just letting you know, guys. This is my FOC. This is what I've thought of the story so far. But Ellie's a character I really like. I really like her character. I like that she has a good heart. She's a fast learner. She's eager to learn. And she loves her dad. And I hope that she sticks around. I hope she's not just here to sell some comics and then they're going to just put her on the wayside. I really enjoyed her as a character, and hopefully she sticks around for a while. Here we have Marvel Zombies Red Band #1. This is cover A by Greg Land. So if you've been watching my FOCs and my comic book hauls, you know I love sci-fi, I love horror, and here I have both. You have the Fantastic Four as zombies in their spacesuits. Really cool cover. I'm going to be picking this one up, but we have more. Here we have the 1 in 25 Brian Brown variant. So if you watch zombie movies, you know the big fear is to get bit by zombies. And of course, everyone's natural instinct is to put their arm up, but then you get bit. So then you feel like, oh, well, I got to protect my arm, or I got to put something on it, or I can put something in their mouth so they can't bite down. But when you have a zombie of Mr. Fantastic who could stretch out his mouth like that, how are you going to stop yourself from getting bit? And then to make it worse, he's stretched up all around Spidey, and then he's got those fingers stretched out, wrapped around his face. Looks like a face hugger type thing right there. Really creepy cover, guys. I really like this. I'm definitely going to pick this one up. And here we have the Marvel Animations variant. You have a zombified Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. That is terrifying, especially if he's able to wield it. I don't know how smart or not these zombies are going to be, but that would just be terrifying. Seeing a zombie walking around with the Infinity Gauntlet and knowing that it could potentially use it at any time and you have no idea what it's going to do with it, that is crazy. But I will definitely be picking this one up. And that's it, guys. That's my FOC. Like I said, I managed to keep it under 20. I knocked out at least 7 books off of this that I can remember, because I know I was at 25 at one point. I don't remember how much more than that, but I know I was around 25. So I did good. So let's go over my totals. I had 8 DC books this week. Only 2 indies. That's surprising. Usually my indies, outdo my DC and Marvel. 8 Marvels. 14 were variants. And 3 were ratios. And with a total of 18. So like I said, guys, I did really good this week. Next week, Something's Killing the Children out. And I am one of the Something's Killing the Children fans who likes to pick up as many copies as I can. I don't always pick up every copy, but I do try and pick up as many as I can. So it's going to be a rough week. I can see it being over 30. I will try my hardest to knock it down. We'll see how that works. Please hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I am a new channel. I'm barely on my second month of putting out content regularly on YouTube. And here's follow my future shows. So on Mondays, I do a show with Bruce from Kingdom of Nerds and Brian from Master of None. We do a live show called The Red Shirts. And right now we're going over season 3 of Strange New Worlds. We're doing the reviews on the episodes. This Monday, we're going to go over the most recent episode that just came out on Thursday. And we're also going to do a review of Star Trek The Motion Picture. But we have plans to go over original Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, we're going to, Lower Decks. We're going to, if it was Star Trek, we're going to go over it. And it's just a fun episode where we are talking about our love for Star Trek. Not going to be hating on this or that. We might say, it wasn't for me, but we're not going to hate on it. It's just us sharing our love of Star Trek. On Wednesday, I have my new comic book day haul, which is basically what it sounds like. I make a video showing you all the books I picked up on New Comic Book Day for that week. Here I have Off the Shelf on Friday. It's another live stream that I do with Bruce from Kingdom of Nerds. And we just have fun on Friday. We usually have 3 or 4 guests, and we have a Jeopardy segment we do. We go over some books, comic book stories, things like that. We just have a fun time. Saturday, it's my FOC video, and this will be 2 weeks in a row that my FOC video will be going out in time. It is 7:01, so hopefully this will be up by around 8-ish. We'll see, maybe. It should have been out already, but I tried to record this video 4 times already. My daughter kept interrupting me, and then by the time I finished it and I felt like I had a really good video up, I had forgot to click resume record. So this is the 5th or 6th time I've had to do this. So far it seems like everything's going great. So it'll be going out today. On Sunday, I have my Snail Mail Sunday, where I go over books that I bought from LCSs across the country, eBay buys, and whatnot buys. And it's just your standard unboxing video. But on Sunday night, we have the other comic show, which is another live show I do with Bruce from Kingdom of Nerds. We have Matt from Heroes for Hire Comic Book Club on there, and some more guests that are on there. And we review 3 books that came out during the week. We go over more comic book news. We usually do a little bit of the box office. And then Bruce will show off his favorite covers coming up for New Comic Book Day and go over his FOC. And we just have a good time. It's a great way to wind down the weekend before we start the new week. So, if any of those sound interesting to you, come and check them out. I appreciate it. And leave me a comment. I'm a brand new channel. I've been here going on 2 months, putting out content regularly. I'm trying to do my best on putting out content that I hope y'all enjoy. Let me know what you think about my FOC list. Tell me if there's some things that you think I should add to it that I'm not reading right now. Everything helps, guys. I have 102 subs and probably 15 to 20 watch regularly. So Pops, if you're watching, and you probably are, because I know you watch all my videos, you're the first one to like and to leave a comment. I appreciate you, man. It makes me feel like these aren't just going out to nobody and people are actually enjoying them. So thank you very much. You make it much easier for me to put these out, because like I said, the first 5 that I tried to record, and once I realized that last one didn't work, I almost thought, like, I'm not doing this. It's not worth it. What's for? But Pops, this one's for you. So anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Those of you who do, like, as I said, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.